Hello everyone, my name is Juliet John Ian and I'm happy to have you today. Today I'm here to talk about a very interesting aspect of the upcoming Academic High Research Bootcamp. I'll be showing you a little skill, something that anyone who is interested in research should learn to have or should learn to do. What am I talking about? I'm talking about basic referencing. So if you have undertaken a BSc already or any research program, referencing will be something you come across often. Citations, getting facts from people, getting information from other sources. It could be a website, it could be it could be journal articles, it could be research projects, it could be dissertations. It can just be anything. It can be lecture notes, it can be live conversation. So, but how do you reference these? And is there a smart way to reference? Yes. I recall that for my BSc, I was trained on how to reference using two basic styles, APA and MLA. The APA referencing style was used most for my faculty, which is management sciences, and it's used most for social science or social work, social research. While MLA is usually used on the arts and humanities, like law, history, so they use MLA. Okay, when you're writing a work, it's expected that you make reference to other people's work. This is true if you're writing an academic piece of work. When I mentor people or when I go through any research work, I'm expected to review any work. The first thing I look out for is your title, just to be sure that I understand what your work is about. I look at the title, and if I understand it, that's a good sign. Secondly, I just flip through the work to see the quality of reference. I want to see how well you've been able to cite, how well you've been able to arrange your reference, and if your referencing style is consistent. We'll be talking about all this in detail during the bootcamp, on the third day of the bootcamp to be precise. But for now, I'm just going to show you one smart way to reference if you are new to research. So I usually talk about different reference manager. We have EndNote, we have Mendeley, we have even Google Scholar. Yes, Google Scholar can also serve as a reference manager. In fact, it is a reference manager. So since Google Scholar is more accessible to everyone than Mendeley and EndNote, although Mendeley and EndNote have more features, more interesting, cool, wonderful features that you should take advantage of if you're into research. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to use Google Scholar. How do I use Google Scholar to reference? How to use Google Scholar to reference. So on your browser, you'd want to type scholar.google.com. So this should be familiar to you if you're into research. Scholar.google.com. Here you can search for journal articles, you can search for scholarly works. How about if I'm working on passengers' perception of service quality, passengers' perception of airline service quality. Let's say I'm researching on this. As a reference manager, Google Scholar allows you to select the time you'd want to assess that works that have been written maybe since any time or any specific period of time that's of interest to you. So let me say this first work here by Chen Chang is of interest to me. You see, this work was published by Elsevier, Journal of Air Transport Management. So let's assume that this work is of interest to me. And I open up this work, say open a new tab, and I open up the work. It's opening in a new tab. Okay, great. So this is the work, okay. I can see cite below. So if I click on cite, okay, that's it for Mendeley. So after reading this work, I can decide to cite this work. Maybe I see something interesting about this work that I like and I want to cite it. Remember, we're working with Google Scholar. I was almost tempted to come use Mendeley here, but let's focus on Google Scholar that is more accessible for everyone. Accessible to everyone, rather. So this is your Google Scholar. If you click here, you can open the full work. Normally, this is what I would have done back then. This is what I would have done. So I'll open my Microsoft Word. Let me just put it at the corner nicely. And I would have said, who are the authors again? Okay, I would have said references. And then I'll say Chen. Now I'll write this manually. Chen, F-Y, Chang, Y-H. Okay, just both of them. So I'll come here and I say Chen and Chang. Can you see how long this is taking me? I want this to be very practical for you. Can you see how long this is taking me? So I want to reference an APA, and the title of the work is, let me minimize this again. The title of the work is Examining Airline Service Quality. So let's say that is what I want to reference. And then I put it here. Okay. And move this in. So let's see, this is what I'm doing. And it's published by, the journal name is Journal of Control. Journal of Air Transport Management, and the volume is what? The volume. You know, journal have volume numbers. So for the volume and number, I'm expected to come here and figure that out. Volume 11, number 2, page 79 to 87. Volume 11, number 2, page what? Page 79 to 87. 79 to 87. So this is accepted, but for APA, remember the indenting. So this is it for APA. Can you see how long this took me? How about if there was a more easier way to do this? So I come back to Google Scholar. Can you see this inverted comma up here? It says cite, and I click on it. Wow, Viola. I have MLA style, I have APA, I have Chicago, I have Harvard, I have Vancouver, and anyone I want. So I'm interested in APA. I simply just copy this. I just copy it, and I come here, and I paste. But for APA, you must remember to do what? Indent. Can you see that? So this is easier than doing this manually. So Google Scholar is not my favorite reference manager, but it's a way you can start. It's something you can start with. I hope this tutorial helps you if you're currently referencing your work. Thank you.